Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. We are back again, and needless to say, shenanigans. The clowns, the clowns keep control of our government, and that control our government. They keep on keeping on, baby. You know, all this grandstanding by the Republicans and Democrats. What is there to show for? Absolutely nothing. But it doesn't matter because the market is doing what the market is supposed to do, which is what it keeps going up and down, man. That's exactly it. We're not trying to time the market. We're not trying to be at the mercy of the market and react, right? We're being proactive and we're making money, whether the stock market is up or down. It just doesn't matter to us. We're here to make money. Um, we're here to capitalize on the on all the stupidity of what these uh, Republicans and Democrats, right, are showcasing to this point. And so, anyways, um, happy to be here. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates, scallywags, and ne'er-do-wells. We are once again trading live and honestly taking opportunities of what the market's giving us. I told you guys last week I bought 500 shares of Open. I think at 495, and then they just triggered, and I sold them. I actually didn't even sell cover calls or anything. I was gonna upload right now and then, and I sold at 795, easy $3 per share, just like that in one day. I mean, if you're not making money right now in this market, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're doing it wrong. Whether it be cash secure puts, whether it be cover calls, um, whether it be buying puts or buying calls. There's so much volatility out there at this point that you got to be making some type of money, player. Player, you got to make some money. If you're not making money at this point with this market, you are doing it 100% wrong. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Who's in the house? Wing Commander is in the house. Savage, he says. Tovin, what is going on, my man? I hope you're doing great. Jude K is in the house saying good morning, Savage. Jay Gill's in the house. Kilua Dre's, in fact, in the house. Always Be Writing is in the house saying good morning. Jude K saying, I hope all is well. Indeed, my friend, all is well. And we are having fun this morning. Beach Boy Shalom, my friend. I hope you're doing great. Que pasa mi hermano? He says, not much, brother. Just over here taking advantage of the volatility of the market. I just unloaded 500 shares of Open Door. I made $1,500 in a day. I mean, dude, it's great. It's great. Jude K saying 100% agree. Savage. Andres de la Torres in the house saying, what's up? What is up, my friends? So yeah, man. BMNR is up. I was telling you guys last week. I actually went and I bought some BMNU, which is kind of like a not so direct way of taking a position on Ethereum, right? As it is BMNR. The smart money is just consolidating at this point. They're just buying BMNR, and BMNU is going to be a byproduct, right? Up like 15% today. I sold some $25 BMNU cover calls expiring in December for like 185, I think, or 180. So I just made money. Just the stock is at 15, 16. And I'm going to sell at 25, and they're giving me money for that. What is wrong with that? My average is now the $14 land or $15 land. So I'm making money. it doesn't matter whether the stock is going up or down. I'm just going to capitalize, right? BMNR, I bought back my cover calls, on Friday for pennies on the dollar, man. And at this point, I'm not even writing cover calls on BMNR. I'm just gonna just chill and see what it does. I think it's gonna go to 46, $47, maybe 48. Will it touch 50? It could. If that's the case, then I'll sell some 55s or some 60s out to January and bring in some nice capital, and then use that money to buy whatever is getting hit on that day and it's on the red. It's just, I bought back my C3.ai covered calls, and I bought some calls. I mean, it's just, we're gonna give it time to recover, and is at this point, we're not trying to time the market, my friends. We're just not. Just take advantage of what the stocks are giving you, right? BBAI. Last week, I know that a couple of you guys were selling cash secure puts on BBAI out to 2028 or 2027, and you guys were getting 50% returns on those cash secure puts. Today, those are smaller. Those have shrunk, right? Because BBAI is in the green. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We just got hit because of the shutdown, the government shutdown, and I think that this weekend was the worst weekend we've had as far as the airline industry, and flights, I think, are beginning to get canceled quite a bit. And this is the funny thing. The funny thing is that national flights are the ones that are suffering. International flights are not. So for you guys that voted for the powers that be right now, you're the ones that are suffering. International folk are not. They're still gonna go home to their country, and they're visiting the U.S. They're having a great time, and they're seeing just how ridiculous we are here in the government, with the government, and how we mistreat the less fortunate. And just the type of political football that is played with the poor, right? Anyways, I don't want to get political. Let's focus on the market. Come on, let's focus, Savage. And so Webull is getting hit today, and at least it was earlier on. And now it's recovering. Webull anywhere in the $10 land is such a gift, man. It's just my personal opinion, right? This is obviously not financial advice, but Webull being at 983 is not supposed to be there. It has no business there. Just like C3.ai had no business in $13 and $14 land. It just doesn't. It makes no sense. But you know what? It is what it is, right? So at this point, I'm just buying shares and consolidate. I'm not even doing cash secure puts. I'm just buying shares because I honestly think that this is a really, really, really good position to take. It's a good starting point for someone that has not wet their beak yet with Webull. And if you really wanted it to, go through cash secure puts, you absolutely could. You could go to January puts on Webull. You look at the $10 strike because it's $983, $985 right now, and you could get about $140. Ask for $140, $141 to buy Webull at $10 and get paid $140 $140 to buy Webull at $10. What's wrong with that? You're essentially, your cost would be less than $850 or around $850, $860. What's wrong with that? You're buying Webull at $850, $860. There's nothing wrong with that, my friends. Nothing at all. It's a good company. It's gonna make a lot of money. It's just at this point, everything is getting hit, and it just so happens that Webull went public not too long ago, and some people paid $70, $75, $76 a share for it when it IPO'd, and now it's going back down. Remember what happened with Robinhood, right? Robinhood was like $90, $80 a share when an IPO'd, and it went back down to like $7? It was like $8, $9 a share at some point. But it didn't go any lower than that. And then it recovered and it stayed in the $10, $11 land, consolidating for like 6 months or something like that. And then look at where it's at now. It's at $110, $120. That's what happens, man. All the smart money starts piling in. They wait for all the dummies that come in on the IPO and paid, premium for it, and then they get shorted, right? And next thing you know, the stock goes back up. That's what it does. That's what companies do. Good companies, and then all these people that sold when they bought 50 at 60, 70, and then they just realized we're just going to take whatever money we can, um, and sell at 10, sell at 15. Those shares become available, and then someone else grabs them down there, and then you wait, and then you can sell cover calls to bring in some cash. And if you want your stock to pay rent while you hold it, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do that. Many people do that. Um, that's how you really make money in this market, right? Don't sell on all your shares though. Like if you say, let's say you have 1,000 shares of Webull, you can ride on 600-700 shares, right? 6-7 contracts, right, to bring in money. But don't ride on the other 300-400 shares. Leave those alone, because if you end up going to $100 a share, you're gonna get taken out on those contracts, but you still have shares that you're gonna be up massively on, and that's the name of the game, right? And then you're gonna basically be playing with free money. There's nothing wrong with that, my friends. That is the name of the game. All right. So what do we got? Jude K saying 100% agree. Andres de la Torre saying, what's up? Hector, good day, everyone. Tom Kaufman is in the house saying, savage. What up, Tom? Karen D's in the house. What is up, Karen? We Commander say, thoughts on QSI. All right. So QSI. Quantum Psi. I did talk about Quantum Psi, I think, when it was the 130s. Was it like 110, 120? I mean, it's just, what do I think? I think it's a gift right now, man. It's consolidating. Um, you know, they reported on the quarter three in November the 5th, right? And they have $552,000 in revenue and progress, and um, I mean, strong cash position. They have $230 million, right, in cash. Funding operations up to the second quarter of 2028, despite 35.7 million net loss. I mean, that's what happens when you're a new company and you're expanding, right? You're gonna start burning through cash. This happened to SOFI. This happened to Palantir. This happened to NVDA. It happens to all companies that are growth companies, right? They burn through cash a lot because there's a lot of networking to do. These are, in fact, tech stocks, right? Tech's expensive, and we were talking about it when it was $1.20, $1.30 a share. It went to like 250, 260, right? You could have sold some $3 covered calls out to January 2026. Did you? You could have easily brought in some cash. And I know that IV got high. Did I write on it? I didn't. I just, because my average is 110. I'm thinking it's gonna do the same thing that NVTS did, right? I think it's gonna do the same thing that BBAI did. It's just gonna go to $6-7, and then it's just gonna kind of consolidate a little bit. People are going to get FOMO, and then they're going to come in and buy, and then they're going to run it to like $10-12. And then is when I'm going to write, some $10 strikes out to 2027 or something, and bring in dollars, right? And then it's going to get hit, and it's going to go back to like $6-7. And then I will buy those cover calls for pennies on the dollar. And then I'm going to wait for it to recover, and then, sell more covered calls. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? You can do whatever you want with it, but you could have sold half of your position when it went to like almost $3, and then play with free money. In which case, you wouldn't care what it does, because if it goes to zero, you already made your initial investment back, right? So I think QSI is going to go to $10 a share. Now, do I know that for 100%? I mean, no, it's just like any other company, right? Like we don't know what's going to happen. We based on the information we have, we try to have our best thesis out there. And my hypothesis is based on all that information that I have, and based on the contracts that they're signing, based on their leadership, based on past performance. Although past performance doesn't dictate future outcome, I think it's gonna go to like $6 to $10 a share, and I'm waiting for it to get to like this, to that area, and then I'm gonna sell some covered calls on it. Meanwhile, I'm just consolidating. I'm just adding. You know, I'm just gonna wait for it to get down to like the maybe 130s again, and then I want to buy another 1,000 shares, and then it's gonna pop up again. It's just I don't know. It depends, man. So QSI, that's my thoughts on it, brother. I mean, it's just kind of like the gist of it, right? Um, but it doesn't matter what I think. At the end of the day, I know why I'm investing. I think you could go and have a look see at their statement, right? Look at their prospectus, and look at their quarterly data, right? It's there, and then look at the numbers and see if it's something that you'd like to be a little bullish on and take a position, or keep adding to your position. I don't know just how deep you are into it, but yeah, it's all up to you. I know why I'm in it, and it's not like it's a huge position that I'm taking either, right? Like if I say I have a few thousand shares on it, that's a very like minute part of my my overall portfolio. Um, but that's just like with any other stock, right? I'm not gonna go, you know, and be in heavy on it as I was on SoFi. I think SoFi and Matterport and RXRX are my biggest positions. Matterport obviously got taken over, so I made a nice little pretty penny on that because I averaged down to like the $2 land, and then they got bought up for like 550, right? So I ended up making a nice little coin. And at this point, I think SoFi is still my biggest holding. And right now, RXRX is, if things happen the way that I think they're going to happen, and if if RXRX stays in between $5 to $6 land from now until December 19th, I'm going to get an additional 2,500 shares of RXRX through cash secure puts. My break even is like 370 on those cash secure puts, just because I've been rolling them since I want to say last December. So I've just been making cash on that. At this point, I'm just ready for those. But I said this last I said this last month. I There was those cash secure puts were set to expire in November, and I rolled them one more time because RXRX moved to like $6 not too long ago, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, you know, I sense more weakness, and I was right. Um, and just the way things were going, I said, you know what? Let me roll one more time, and I rolled those sixes to sixes, but this time from November to December, and I brought in like another, $1,200 or something. Um, Getting paid to buy the stock, man. I mean, it's awesome. But at this point, I'm ready to get those shares so that I can just add those shares, and average down on my overall cost basis, right? Uh, and then um, and then that'll be my second biggest position at this point. And I think AI, same thing. C3.ai. I rolled some 25s to 2020s in 20, I want to say June 2026 or something, during a pop. Um, and I'm gonna sell some, I think, some 1250s, or I sold some 1250s, and I'm gonna sell some 15s, I'm thinking, for 2027, just because I feel that it's ready to take a pop, but because of everything else that's is going on, it's just laying there. It's a great time to add to positions with C3.ai, because it doesn't belong there, right? Let's see here. Webull doesn't belong there. I could roll these $15 cash secure puts that I think I got like $4 for. Like I want to say August or July. And at this point, my break even is like 11.15 or 11.50, something like that. And I'm going to just, I think I'm just gonna get those shares, man. I really want those shares. I don't think Webull belongs to be down here. I got some Rocky RKT cash secure puts that are just out of the money. I sold some 20s and some 18s. So like the average would be 19, right? If I get to place those. They expire in November. I may move those to like January and bring in some more cash. Um, yeah, BMNR. I have some $20. I'm sorry, some $45 cash secure puts on BMNR. I have some 55s that I actually rolled from November to I want to say April 50s, and I got paid like $3 per, and I freed some capital, so it was like 500 per contract that I got collateral back, and I got paid to roll. So it's a win. And then I used that money to buy a BMNU at like 10 something, and now it's exploded. So there's so many different ways you can just move. But this is why I like to take big chunks, right? I like to take really big chunks when I do cash secure puts, because it makes me feel good whenever there's more red days ahead, and then I end up going even 15% below that, and I just can't wait to get placed those shares, because I feel like those are extremely cheap. That's cheap stock at that point. And if I feel like there's more money to be made, and there's like a nice little jump on the stock, then I'll roll over a couple of months and bring in um, more capital, and take some collateral back just to safeguard against any more weakness. Um, that's just how you play the game, right? And then I use that money so that I can buy stock that's getting hit on that day, even if it's that same stock. Um, QUBT, QUBT is taking it on the chin, man. QUBT was like 20, was it like $30 a share not too long ago? Let's see. Yeah, it was like 27, right? 27, $28 a share. And now it's $12 a share. I got to $27 a share, and it's right now $12 a share. If you were someone that was liking it at 25 and 20, why wouldn't you like it at 12, $13 where it's at right now? You could sell some cash secure puts, some 12s, bring in $180 right now. As for 178, so between 178 to $180, sell a $12 cash secure put and get paid to buy the stock close to $10 a share. There's nothing wrong with that at all, man. Let's see. Um, Beach Boy saying Bull January 2027s, 10s at 336. Hope you like the cash grab. I love it. Bull. So you're basically cash secure putting. You're selling 10s at basically 33.6% return on investment. You probably have another 5% coming in through that ETF, right? So you're basically making $40, 40% back, almost 38.6% back, to basically to store your money away for a year. I don't see anything wrong with that. That's fucking awesome, actually. I knew there were cash secure puts, by the way. Larry Titus in the house saying, "What's up?" Jared saying, "Hello from snowy Cincinnati. Go SoFi." Mark C's in the house saying, "Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mark." So yeah, man. Beach Boy, I think those are great cash secure puts to write, man. Um, people that wrote $7 cash secure puts on BBAI last week, and I actually wrote some NVTS $7 cash a cure, no, $10 cash a cure puts on NVTS, and I brought in like 60%. 60%. Do you understand that? I put $10 away. They gave me fucking almost $6 back to buy NVTS at $10 in the future. And someone said yes. That's crazy. That's just like I'm getting it's free money. It's a cash grab, man. It's just that's how you play this game. Um, by the way, speaking of games, guys, I did say yesterday or Friday that I was gonna go live yesterday, but I didn't. You know, the kids take a lot of time. Work takes a lot of time, and just life itself, right? Um, and I seldomly get to spend time with my wife. And so like I thought to myself, like, what am I doing this for, right? It's just to it's for quality of life. It's to have more time with my family. And the one, like the main cinder block of like the family, right? To me, is my wife, right? Like she's like the base. And we went to Costco last week. I don't know if you guys remember. I talked about that. We spent like $700. It was fucking insane. I think this is the most we've spent in a Costco run or on a Costco run. But anyways, it was like over $700, right? And we did end up buying some wine. And I love myself some Argentinian Malbec. It's a red, and it goes well with prosciutto and and meat and just beef in general, right? It's the Argentinians know how to do this, and so there's this Malbec that they usually have that comes from a specific winery in Argentina, um, which I happen to know. I happen to have bought in the past, and it's just I think it's like a 92 in the 1 to 100 point system that we have in America for wines. It's a 92, and so that means it's a really really good wine. Anyways, so I saw that we had that wine, and I texted my wife at night, and I said, "Hey man, would you like to have a glass of wine?" And being the woman that she is, she had she sent the kids to bed and make sure they had brushed their teeth and stuff, and she's like, sure. She goes downstairs, and then she starts cutting this cheese and doing all this little charcuterie board. I think it's like that's her. And we sat down and we had a drink, and then we had two, and then we had three, and I look, it's just and then the wife wins, man. So I didn't go live yesterday because of that, because I was having a delicious glass of wine with my wife, and it turned into a whole bottle. So and it was really good. So yeah, so needless to say, that's what happened, and she's gonna win every time between you guys and her. Anyhow, here today. So let's see what this market is giving us, guys. Quantum compute QUBT. I like it. You guys know that I like it, and it's a gift right now, man. Anywhere under $15, I think QUBT is a gift. Um, let's see. Enphase Energy is up, and I think when it was in under $30 a share, anybody that sold some $30 cash at your puts out to 2028, um, beautiful, because you probably got $12, $13 back for those, and so kudos to you, my friends. Open is going down now. Look at that. See, I timed it perfectly, man. I put stinkers to sell for $7.95, and they triggered. I bought those at $3.95. Sorry, $4.95 on Friday, and 500 shares again. But I made money, man. So like that's the name of the game. When it comes to open, it's just It's so easy to make money with it because it's just like, you get to see the chats, right? And you see who the dummies are, and like you just know based on that, and then just the way that it's trading, it's just all over the channels, but like you got to know what to look for, right? And it's just so easy to make money with it right now, man, up or down. um let's see, RXRX, it's 458 at this point. um if you want to make a quick buck and you gotta want to get paid to buy the stock, man, 46, $47 to sell $4 cash secure puts. Essentially, you're bringing in 10%, a little over, right? $4 cash secure puts expiring January 16, 2026. Those are giving you 45, 46, $47 right now. I see nothing wrong with that. Want to dare the market to put them shares in your account? $5 cash secure puts expiring January 2026. Ask for 110, 111. You know, pretty much over a little over 20%. What is wrong with that? Nothing at all, man. Nothing at all whatsoever. So yeah, I like those rights. The $4 cash secure put and the $5 cash secure puts expiring January 2026 are beautiful to me right now, especially with the way that RXRX is just consolidating at this point. When it goes, it's going to go. It is what it is. But at this point, I am so content that it happens to be where it's at, because I just keep adding. C3.ai seems to be recovering. It was down like 2% earlier. It's now up 1.5%. So that's a 3.5% move. Um, I told you guys I bought some $25 calls and some $20 calls expiring in 2027. I got those for like $2, uh, 2 and 250. So actually 2 and 220. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all, man. It's just free money. I'm gosh, at $15, C3.ai is a gift, man. Um, you guys really could sell $20 cash secure puts expiring January 2028 and try to bring in 8.75, $9. I mean, that's almost 50% back. Um, there's nothing wrong with those, man. $20 cash secure puts on C3.ai, nothing wrong with that at all. You want free money, like free money? $15 cash secure puts. Ask for like $5, 5.05, expiring 2028. So that's like 33% back, right? So depends, man. That's just free cash. Instead of like, a bank account, a savings account is gonna give you 2%, 1% back for holding your money. Um, get 33%. And you could at any point when C3.ai jumps to $30 a share, in which it will by 2028. Fuck yes, it will. You could just buy those contracts back for like a penny and a dollar, and then move your money elsewhere wherever there's opportunity. You know. Let's see here. Jared saying, "Wow, good times, party time." That's exactly what happened last night. So anyhow, guys, I didn't want to come on for too long, right? I just wanted it to come in and then just touch base with you guys, tell you guys that remember when Rivian was at $12, $10. I was telling you guys, hey man, right now it's at 1662. They're CEO is great, man. The guy's a believer. He knows what he's doing. Strong quarter 3 earnings. Um, the new CEO's got a good pay package because he's doing the work. Um, let's see here. BMNR and anywhere in the 40, it's a gift, man. BMNU, it got to 10, $11 last week. It's at 15 now. It's just it moves so fast, and you could just make such a nice chunk of change. My GME $25 covered calls that I sold for to April, They've brought back almost 20% at this point, and I'm gonna do nothing. I'm done with GME. I want that cash. I refuse to keep playing the game. I sold I sold the warrants, and I just used the cash as I saw fit, which is working for me thus far. And Archer Aviation, under $10 is a gift, and at this point, great. It's a great move. I'm at $7 average, $6 average, and I got some $12 cover calls expiring 2027. Those are nice. Terra Wolf. I told you guys, man, like Terra Wolf got down to like $11 or something like that last week, or like $13, and I was like, Terra Wolf. They have a contract with NVDA, I believe. So it was contagion. People getting margin called last week, and this whole like situation with the government shutdown, right? Uh, RKT is up nicely today, and Rocket is going to be $30 a share. It's a matter of time. I have $18 cash secure puts, $20 cash secure puts expiring, November and in January. So I'm just letting them marinate. I may roll those 20s to 18s in January and bring in, a little more capital, and we'll see what happens, man. But let's let the stock tell us what to do, right? We bull under $10. I already told you guys is a gift. QUBT. Talk about a cash grab. You could sell a $10. You could sell a $13 QUBT cash secure put expiring 2028 for 650, 660 right now. So that's more than 50% that you can bring in if you wanted to. You could sell January 2027's $12 cash secure puts and bring in for $12 460. So it depends on what you want to do, man. The opportunity is there, right? It all depends on what people want to do. Let's see here. CKT saying, hey y'all, sitting on some January 26th $30 cash secure puts on SOFI, 7 of them already up 23%. I'll take it. SOFI is going to go to $50 a share, right? We don't know when, but if it goes to like 35 in the next month or 2 or 3, selling some $40 cover calls out to April or June next year is nothing to be afraid of. SoFi is going to keep doing what it does, which is it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Overall it's going to go upwards, but like in the meantime, with all the volatility, get paid to hold the stock. That's what we do. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, my fellow simpletons. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow, probably around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock my time, and then we'll see what the market is giving us then. Until then, thank you for watching. I'm the Savage of Wall Street, baby. See you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great trading day, a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, my friends. Thank you for watching. Later, Gators.